First of all, my name is Ryan. I just came from Hawaii and work for... Oh, the sound. Okay. I just came from Hawaii. I work for a company called SecurityNA, and I'm very active in the HoneyNet project. I'm one of their chapter leads. And let's go to the agenda for this talk. This talk will give you a high-level overview of the different analysis techniques out there. Hopefully, I'll be able to help you get started with your analysis and your research by introducing you to the existing tools out there. So pretty much, this talk will be just the tip of the iceberg, because there's so much out there, and for 20 minutes, we really couldn't cover that. So this might be a little bit fast, so just stop me if I go talking and talking. So let's go. Security analytics. What is this? The goal here is to look for new and alternative ways to analyze security data. So why are we doing that? Why are we analyzing data? Basically, because we live now in a data-centric world. As the security data collection tools continue to improve and evolve, the quantity of data exponentially increases. There's so much data collection tools out there, like honeypots, honeynets, malware collectors, which I think there's a lot here in BlackHat that has been talking about these stuff, honey clients, and the more traditional ones like firewall logs, IDS, IPS logs, and other system and network devices. But pretty much, here's a sample. Like, this is new from the HoneyNet project, not yet released. So it's called a global distributed HoneyNet. It's like a bunch of high interaction honeynets spread out across the globe. And what's unique here, it's distributed and has a central repository. So it's pretty cool, like one central database. But it's cool. But after all that, what remains is like tons and tons of data to sift through. So there's a lot of data. And what is important in data? Value of data. Remember that data is often only as valuable as what the analysis can shape it to. So think of it this way. Think of data as like diamond, unprocessed diamond, diamond in the rough. With analysis techniques and tools, you can bring out that diamond out of the data. So pretty much, that's basically it. Like, how do we do that? Like, we need to build our arsenal of analysis tools and techniques. You might be wondering, okay, where do we get these analysis techniques that I keep on talking about? Pretty much we could get it everywhere from the different fields, looking beyond security. And we know security has unique needs, unique requirements. But analysis techniques are pretty much cross-border, cross the boundaries of different fields. So let's see, what fields am I talking about? A lot. So we could get techniques from economics, get techniques from finance, biology, and all the things that are out there. Of course, not limited to those. So we know the fields. So what are these techniques that I'm talking about? So let me give you some examples, like data and text mining, being used a lot in marketing, library science, clustering in medicine, machine learning, robotics and AI, baselining, statistics, visualization, graphics design, and game programming, actually. Behavioral analysis, psychology and sociology, and game theory and economics. So there's a whole lot of techniques from all those different fields. So I'd be wondering, okay, he said these techniques, but how do I use it? I'm not an economist. I'm not an analyst or mathematician and statistician. So how do we use this? So pretty much, we build upon the work that our other colleagues and peers in the different disciplines have been using already. There are a lot of tools out there which would help you in your analysis. So here, let me show you some examples of these tools. I believe I put the URLs for all of these in my packet, so you could just download it. It's mostly free. So our project, this is like a great statistics tool. Open source, has thousands of statistical functions that you can use, programmable and all that. So Weka is actually a data mining tool, a really cool data mining tool. That screenshot you see over there, that's not really too clear. It's actually a plot of like IPS events. And so you could like see the severity, plot out the correlations and all that, see the trends. So that's Weka. We also have Yale. I'll talk about this later. I have some slides talking about those screenshots, what that screenshot is. We also have Tanagra, which is in the mold of Weka and Yale for text mining and data mining. And we also have FlowTag. The idea here is like get PCAPs, make it visual, so prettier to see, prettier to look. HoneySnap, which is a pre-processing tool, data cleansing. So you have a PCAP, you want to get it structured, pretty much that's the idea. Of course, Excel and Access, really useful, especially for correlating everything, like different tools, you want to combine it, have one data set, really useful stuff. Orange, this is really cool. It's a Python module, which is like built for data analysis. So if you have tools that you're making, or tools like if you have vulnerability scanner, all that, and want to extend it and have data analysis capability, you should look at this. Orange, pretty nice. So let's now talk about the possibilities. What are the possibilities that we could do? First, let me go to data cleansing and pre-processing. Typically, most of the tools here, most of the tools out there are just stops at pre-processing and data cleansing, like Wireshark and all of that stuff. Wireshark's pretty good, but since I'm in the HoneyNet project, I will tell you about HoneySnap. HoneySnap is pretty much here's what we're used to. Typical TCP dump data. And here's what is HoneySnap. So pretty much structuring the data. Not really too impressive looking. So let's go to the next slide, which is data and text mining. Data and text mining, the idea here, it's used a lot in marketing and library science. For example, in marketing, you could do like text mining from I heard that they're doing text mining from the different blogs, so they could actually get what people are talking about, so they can focus their marketing agenda towards those things that people are talking about. So it's getting topics and all of that. So what has this got to do with security? And I keep on talking about. So in the HoneyNet project, we have a lot of IRC hacker chatter. We have years of hacker chatter data. And I wouldn't want to read through like a year's worth of hacker chatter data. So all you need to do is use one of the tools that I told you. I used here the word vector tool, which is an extension of Yale, another tool, or RapidMiner. So put it in the tool, process it, and there you go. A much more easier, much more clearer, structured way of understanding what are the topics they are talking about, and so forth and so forth. Next, you could actually extend that a little more. Like, you saw the topics there, right? So go to a different discipline now, behavioral analysis. So pretty much using the topics, we've already done this. Some psychologists actually asked me to do a topical analysis of those hacker chatters. So what I gave them is like a really clean topical analysis of what they were talking about. Then they proceeded to study it. Behavioral analysis. So now we're in the realm of psychology and sociology. This is cool. Clustering. Pretty much clustering, what this does is classify different objects based on their common characteristics. It's being used a lot right now, like classification of attack, malware taxonomy. It's pretty much an automated classification. A few years ago, I was asked to find out what is happening to a certain website, a large website. So what kind of traffic is going through that website? So here, this is what they gave me, tons and tons of logs. And I don't want to read through tons and tons of logs, which is impossible. So what I did was use the clustering technique using one of those tools that I was talking about. Here, I think I used Yale. And as you see here, I entered all that log. What it did was classify it. automated classification. So what you see in the right is pretty much normal traffic. Normal traffic, normal requests from different pages. And the other, surprising, in the left, I got abnormal traffic, like cross-site scripting, code injection, and all of that, all done without the use of signatures. So it's pretty much good to give you a high-level overview of what the traffic is happening. You could actually, in the real application, you could actually click through those circles and see what the actual traffic was. So, okay, so let's go to statistics now. Statistics is probably the most used field now in security, in terms of analysis. So pretty much statistics, here's what you're used to. Pretty straightforward graph, pie charts and all that, but you could do so much more, especially with the other tools out there, that you could really extend your research, extend your tools. Like, for example, here, used R project. R project is the really nice open source statistical tool that I've been using. As you see here, this is actually a criminology study. It's a demo, one of the demos in our project. So as you, there, you actually plot U.S. arrests and plot the different states. So what has this got to do with security again? So this has nothing to do with security, but the technique there, you could actually use that technique, port it to security. Like, for example, the arrests, change it to ports. The different U.S. states, change it to IP sources. So, whoosh, here you go, just changing the data. You have a study based on security. So, this, like, for example, there, correlation of port 21, 25, Philippines, and all that. Actually, this would have been much, much better if I didn't use the port, but used actual, like, IDS signatures and attacks would be much more clearer. But that's a sample of how easy it is, like to grab one technique from a different field, then use it in your tool, your research. Here, this is a little bit in right now, genetics and immune concepts. Pretty much the idea here is like thinking of the network as a living organism. You know that, like platelets, white blood cells, and all that sort of stuff. And of course, a genetic algorithm. It's really used now in security. Pretty much, genetic algorithm is actually a mathematical algorithm borrowed from biology. So as you can see, different fields using each other to produce results respective of their fields. So economic theories. This is something that I'm really into because I came from economics and finance background. But this thing borrows a lot, mathematics, statistics, and other disciplines. What I'm into right now is game theory, but I didn't get it from my economics background. I actually got it from this movie. Yeah, Beautiful Mind. Yeah, has anyone watched that here? Yeah, pretty cool, right? John Nash. Game theory is actually John von Neumann. John Nash is one of the premier game theorists. So the idea of game theory is like, think about the show Survivor, like one guy trying to get ahead of another guy. So like, shift it into security, pretty much it's like different players, right? Attacker, defender. Until attacker does this, defender does that, attacker improves, defender tries to catch up, until you get a sort of equilibrium.